Our mining family at the world-famous Josephine has a winning strategy for rockhounds, treasure hunters, or wannabes that could earn us, as a team, millions. Continue watching to examine the prospect. This is a prayer tree near one of the mines that the Spanish used, that they were required to pray before they went in the mine to protect them, have God's blessing. This is a location on a tree near the dark ledge, near the Josephine, pointing to where the King's mine would be, several hundred feet from the Josephine.
And that's in like a northward direction, right?
Yes, from the dark ledge.
Yeah.
This is behind our camp, which was a camp for the Spanish, and their descendants put this on the tree to locate that there is something below the camp, and there's a big rock on the right side here, which has a kind of a pit in it, so it's probably some kind of mine. The right side shows another mine as you go over, which we call the mother lode. This is on a tree about 2 blocks from the camp, showing another mine, actually 5 mines, and you can see the mining tool that is part of that display. This is a bird pointing to the tailings and the mine, only a few yards away from where the tree is.
Now, when you say pointing, is it the beak that's pointing in that direction?
Yes, it's the beak. Yeah. And you'll notice that this is not part of a fungus that's growing on the tree. This is a recessed part, which they would have done. The descendants that are still mining up there, we have evidence of that. We'll show you that later. Here's their story. You can see the window. You can see part of a ladder. You can see them going down into the mine on the bottom part. They're up above the mines, and then down at the bottom there's a bird, and he's got wings. And we have a person that is expert on this type of thing, and he says the wings where they point is an important clue as to something important.
That's like a directional marker or something like that, right?
I don't think so. I think it has something to do with the value of the mine.
Ah. I like that a lot better.
We haven't talked to it. We haven't. This was a third-party report. We still got to interview him. This is in the same area where the Descendants mine is, near our camp, and we've got another indication of something going on here. One of our observers said the thing on the bottom is a Knights Templars cross. So maybe the Knights Templars were mining it before the Spaniards. And then, of course, after the Spaniards, their descendants. That might be 3 different stories as to the history of this mine. This is a plate that would have been put over a smelter, a small smelter, and that hole in the middle is a mount where there would be an air pipe. And the ancient Aztecs and even the Spanish would blow into that air pipe to create enough heat below it where the charcoal would be as part of their smelting process. It was near the mine.
About how large is that in this photo? About how big around?
It's about 3 feet by 2 feet. It would be enough of a smelter to probably yield quite a bit of precious metals. This is a tool at that same Descendants mine, and it's a rod, and we'll show you both ends of it. And it looks like they would use that rod to take the crucible out of the fire to pour it. That's one end of it. I think you're going a little fast.
Oh, sorry. I can slow down there.
Yeah. Okay. Go back. Okay. So now the next frame, please. Okay. You'll notice this is rounded off. So if they were putting their hand on this side, or maybe using it as a tool to burn in the tree, we're not quite sure. You know, we would like if there's anybody out there that knows what this would be, we'd be appreciated, because we found this right in the same pit as where the markings on the tree were. There's the other end of it. You can see it's a hook. So it would be a hook you could put on a handle, the wire handle that had the crucible in the fire, and they could pick it up and then tip it over, and they'd have the precious metals at the bottom. This is some splatter, which is a combination of gold and silver that was in the same area showing precious metals. They'd spilled this when they were doing part of their extrication, I guess their process of taking the crucible out.
And that the gold and silver in this photo would be that shinier looking part of it?
Yes, and we know that it has gold in it because I put a knife on it and I could mark it. If it was silver, I wouldn't have been able to do it that easy. So it's probably white gold. We haven't had it assayed yet. We're going to do that.
Nice.
This is some of the ore that obviously is not from the surface, that is part of the rich ore that was down in the mine. You can see the color of it. It's altogether different than the rocks on top. So you know it came from some subterranean area as part of the process. Here's some more of it. It's a different color. You notice a deep purple. All of those things have to be assayed. And so when you have a lease, you pay for the assays.
And how much does assaying cost typically? Does that involve?
$50. You get gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and 15 different minerals. It's a place over in Elko that's recommended by all the big mining companies. It's called ALS Global.
Oh, awesome.
This is the mine. This is the area where the famous Bird's mine was. On the right-hand side up there is a tailings area that was reported in the 1898 Tribune Independent, stating that the estimate was that just the gold, fine mill gold in those tailings would represent about $100,000. That was what gold was, $20.67. Right now, at over almost $1,500, that same pile, which is laying on top of the ground that you can just drive over and put into a truck, is $7.7 million worth of gold up there.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
That's a hell of a find, and we own it. This is red quartz that's mentioned in the Bird discovery that was in a newspaper in 1898. This is white quartz on limestone, which is another sure sign of precious minerals. This is the what we call now the Pueblo shaft, and it's mentioned in our newspaper clippings that we have on our website, josephinegoldmine.com. And that's what we put in there, was the ladder and everything to get down. It goes down 54 feet to an open catacomb, cavern type of area, which is typical of all of the mines that are available for lease. So that you don't have to do any digging. You just break through that well, it's all been breaking through where the mines were. They've already done that for whatever eon. So all you got to do is dig the cap off, and you're in a mine just like this one. Now we're at the bottom of the mine. You can see the ladder. What's interesting with this is I took this picture when the sun was exactly at noon coming down the mine. That's why you see how bright it is.
That's a heck of a picture for sure.
That was lucky.
Yeah.
This is the Spanish waybill, the famous Spanish waybill, that explains how to find it, what's there, why they had to leave. And so they had to leave because the hostiles had killed them. You can read the Spanish waybill in its English version on our website, josephinegoldmine.com. This is the black ledge, the dark ledge that's mentioned in the waybill. And at the bottom of that at the base of that, there's supposedly small stones, and it's in a timbered area. And we have scans on this showing huge, horizontal, huge formation of something that looks like it had to be a whole stack of gold bars going down a tunnel. And supposedly that's what's in there based on the waybill. And that particular cache is estimated at $1 billion. And it's 130 feet from wherever the Josephine starts, the opening. This is the this is a rendition of what the mine would look like inside from the opening, which would be a smaller opening, and the type of mining activity that occurs. And this would occur in all the mines up there, the 58 that we've already identified that are open for lease. And you can see on the left-hand side where their smelter would have been. These are some of the mining personnel that were slaves or under servitude, and and they're a team of 6 miners, and they'd probably have chains onto them. So if they were going out down into a cave mine area where they could have shafts, they could drop hundreds of feet, the one that fell in, the others could save them. This is some gold bar that actually describes who the owner of the mine is and a map of all the mine tunnels or adits or whatever in the mine. It was discovered up there in one of the main mines. This is part of our crew that was down there a couple of years ago mining a gold site, which is a kind of a cave onyx, it's called. It's calcite and onyx. Here's a big deposit of it, showing you exactly what it looks like. Here's some things that we did with this crystal, and by weight, after we turned it into gemstones and into jewelry, its weight is equivalent to what it would be in gold. So we got 3,000 pounds of it, and after the half of it has to be destroyed because of making the mine, then it would be what we have is $30 million worth of gemstones that we can make out of it, which is equivalent to what it would be in gold. Here's another one of the gemstones, different type of
just
thing.
Beautiful coloration on that. Is there kind of a range? It looks like there's kind of a range on that coloration quite a bit.
None of them are the same. And the cutter we have, every stone that's fixed like this has a different size and a different look. None of them are the same. It's not like what all the diamonds look like, or the jewels look like, rubies or whatever. Everything is a one of a kind, and we have a certificate that acknowledges that it is. Here's one that's mounted in a wire gold, which is another form of adornment. And this is for you Western people. I think over in Denver, they'll love this, in Wyoming and Montana. This is, of course, a Western bow tie, and that's a stone in it. This particular stone, a mayor down in San Pete County bought this, and he paid $1,500 for it. It's about 5 grams. This is allegedly, and I'm not sure, a guy about 30 years ago said he found this in the Pueblo shaft that we showed you earlier. This is the Bird mine and also the Pueblo mine before Bird. And they had an assay, it's published in the mining paper at the time, of $5,000 a ton at $20.67, which in today's money a ton would be $370,000 a ton from this mine. We're opening this mine up next spring. We have a plan of operation, so we'll be in that going down the tunnel to the 700-foot level where there's supposed to be nuggets that Pueblo brought out, and they got all they could carry. This is a location of all of our mines that we've now located. There's a lot more than this, but these are all with GPSs that are available for lease. This is a picture that's in the Kimball report that shows when you stand between the shaft, which is the Pueblo shaft, and the Josephine, and you look south, you're going to see the Provo River, and if you turn right and look north, you're going to see the Weber River, and that in Pueblo's description of where the Josephine was is exactly where it should be. And the GPSs are in page 2 of our website to prove all that, plus a story about the whole thing and Brigham Young's involvement in it. This is one of the mines that were part of our yellow pins that we dug out. And here's our primary engineer, Quinn, who's probing it to see if there's any booby traps or how far we got to go in to get to where the void is. This is another mine that's got all kinds of readings of some people called and said, hey, in the middle of this one area, which is this area here, it's very cold, which indicates that it's a deep shaft. And that was from their sophisticated equipment. And here's a couple of piles of rich ore stash. And the Spanish would put rich ore stash from their mine and then close it. So when they came back and had to clear the mine, they could start their smelter process right away, so there wasn't any interruption in the gold recovery. And all the mines will have, the ones that we've looked at, have some type of this going on. We know it. You noticed earlier that the one that's got $7.7 million worth of gold in it, these should have the same, but probably not on the surface. They probably buried them and put something over them, but there's definitely about 2 mounds in each one of these mines, and this is the mounds that were on the mine that you saw previous to this picture. This is one of the mines that are part of that series over there, and we found dirty quartz in there, which has got gold in it as part of the tailings.
Now, in this photo, we're looking at an opening right there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. This is just another picture of the shaft that's a 20-foot circumference that goes 425 feet. And at the bottom of this, it goes into a lot of different caverns, which keep in mind now that the silver and gold is supposed to start at 450 feet. So it's within, 25 feet of being in the gold zone now, because the ice at the bottom of it is melted. Now it's melted because of the warming up of the, of the hemisphere. So we can dig through 50 feet of ice to be in the gold and silver zone where they've got native silver. Uh-oh, what'd you do?
Oh, just clicked a little too fast.
Okay, this is kind of a summation of what you've seen. And of course, I think that probably I'm going to ask Brian, my associate, what he thought about it.
I think we've got just such a wealth of information going on up at the mine. It's I kind of get my mouth watering every time we come across a new little piece there. It's just such a rich history. For my part, at least, it's really rare to be involved with something like that. So I think we've got quite a good little thing going for us.
Yeah, a lot of this is designed to help people realize their dreams. Everybody, I guess, wants to be a treasure hunter. There's a lot of rock hunters out there. They all do it usually free. I think the gold hunting people, the ones that pan gold, I think they average for all of their time and effort about $2 an hour.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. There's lots of videos that I've seen. I was interested in that for a while, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone take much at all, and they'll spend all day doing it and love every second. God bless them.
the rock hounders, they, you know, we've taken our gold site to gem shows, and the diamonds, the rubies, and everything, because the fake ones look better than the good ones.
Yeah.
Our stuff is really the thing that's up and coming, that's going to make a fortune for people that can use the gold site with tremendous success. And our lease at no cost, and this might sound like bull crap to you guys, but it's the way it is, the way it's going to happen. We've even got the lease. You contact us through our website, we'll send you a copy of it. Read it yourself. It's going to include a distributorship at no cost for the gold site. However, you're on consignment with it. We have cutters that'll create the gemstones for you, and if you market it as, you know, as rock hunters do, then we'll get a percentage of what you sell. So that's very little investment, except for our consultation fee, a nominal fee that we have to charge to continue to make it available. And the same with the gold mines. You'll have a lease, and with our help, we've got scanners, we've got diggers, we've got the things that will help. And you don't have to use them; you can use your own, but it's at no cost too. And the same deal, there's a percentage from what you get from the mines that we both keep, and I think that probably is the best way to develop this, to keep it out of the hands of the number one, the diamond cutters in Antwerp or wherever the hell they are, and the big mining companies that try to come in and steal your mine. So we're for you. We hope you're for us with our idea, and let's do some business. Let's be a co-op family up there, and check us out. Go to our website, josephinegoldmine.com. See if there's anything in there for you, especially to make you money, and at least to entertain you and give you a new aspect, different opinion about a lot of things that are new in history. For example, we don't think Wakara, who was supposed to have the one that showed Tom Rhodes where the gold was, had anything to do with it. And our page 2 explains that. Page 3 has a lot of information about more details about our mining opportunity for you. And what do you think now, Brian? Do you think if you were out there everywhere watching this, there'd be a few things there that might whet your appetite?
I mean, heck, I think it'd be pretty hard not to be interested with all the things we've got going on. It's one of these situations where you kind of have to strike where the iron is hot in a way, because, you know, right now the only thing keeping us from pulling out sacks of gold ore or whatever we could get up there is the snow, you know. And any time that we're compiling all of our information like this, it really just gets me geared back up, and I just want to get back up there, you know.
Yeah. Well, that deja vu, because the last time we were up there, we were in tents and it was 5 below in November. And so that was a reminder that, hey, you know, you and the mountain are no longer the same. And so next spring, this is going to go, and it's going to go big. And we hope you're part of our family up there. It's going to be a mining co-op of people like you. Thank you.